What's up, man?
What's going on?
Welcome to the Growth Trip podcast. I'm Gus,
And I'm Hector.
and we're back, baby.
That's right.
We're being consistent. We're doing this, and I'm having a really good time doing it.
Hell yeah.
Awesome, man. It's been a crazy week. It's been a crazy week.
We're posting.
We're posting. We're live, baby.
We're live. We're doing it.
Yeah, I'm actually having a really interesting experience with the whole posting constantly thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because in my head, I always thought of social media posting as like a very catered, very planned out thing.
Mhm.
And now it just feels like, I don't know, I just want to have our audience and our friends and our family members just see what we're doing and
Yeah.
see it all the time, see it in their timeline, see it in their algorithm, you know?
For sure.
It's a lot I'm thinking about when I'm posting, and when we're both posting, I think we're coming up with the strategy as we go.
Yep. It's been cool to have a lot of like the people that reach out and say, "Hey, dude, that's so cool that you're doing a podcast. Like I'm listening. I think it's super interesting what you guys are saying. I like the presentation, I like the format, I like the content, or giving us real feedback on everything. It's so appreciated. So it's just super cool, and feel blessed.
Yeah, absolutely. We love the attention that a lot of our friends and loved ones are giving us, as far as motivating us and telling us that they're enjoying what they're seeing. And it's a blessing, man. I thought we were going to be talking to no one for a very long time, and our friends and family, they've come through. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What you posted that poll recently?
Yeah, I did.
We got a good amount of engagement on it.
Yeah, it was nice.
What was that? That response that we got?
Yeah. So okay. So just for the audience to know, I posted a poll on our page that asked, "Can you be ambitious and driven and feel happiness?" And this is tied to the episode that will be released on Friday. So stay tuned to that episode. And we got a lot of engagement. We got a lot of you answering and commenting your thoughts. So we appreciate that. We always appreciate, even if one of you comments, we love to see it and love to read it.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to go ahead and shout out Isabella from Puerto Rico, my friend Issa, our friend Issa. And she commented on the post and gave a really good answer to, can you be ambitious and driven and also happy? And she says, and I quote, "Only if you tie ambition and drive to a sense of lack and dissatisfaction with what you don't have in the moment, that's when you'll never be truly happy or satisfied with where you are. I do believe you can be both, and still feel happiness while pursuing your goals. With the right perspective, it'll serve as motivation."
Wow.
Shout out Issa.
Yeah, shout out Issa. That was beautiful.
That was awesome. That was really well put, and I hope you guys enjoy the episode that we did on that.
Yeah, very good segue to that. I mean, I think that was very much in line with kind of our perspective of it as well.
Right.
Because it does depend on what you're ambitious of and what it is that you want for yourself and in life.
Right. Yeah, that is kind of what the whole theme of it was. It's like, if you're not present in the moment and enjoying that moment,
mm-hmm.
then you'll forever chase happiness, and so you'll never get there. And so I think that she had a really good perspective. So shout out Issa. Thank you for commenting. Anytime you guys see any polls or videos and we ask you a question, feel free to answer. We'll try to read it live.
Sort of live. Well, I mean, just the engagement is awesome, and we really want this to be like a community for us to talk about cool stuff, get people's perspective on points that we're discussing week after week or throughout the week. It's great to get the engagement and to have people involved in the discussion. It's honestly a lot of fun.
Yeah, man, and that's the whole point. I think we have a community of friends that are all young professionals. Whether you're in events or in marketing or in the corporate world or in real estate or in law or in engineering, we have so many friends in so many different industries. That's the whole point of this whole endeavor we're doing, is to combine the voices of all of you guys and just hopefully create a community where you can help in the things that you know, and we can help in the things that we know, and just help each other out. I think our generation should be a lot more connected and able to help each other out.
Yeah, for sure. Just have a open and knowledgeable conversation about life through the different lenses.
That's right.
Just to reiterate what you said, it really is beautiful.
Yeah, man. And so, you know, we always want to start with the intro, so make sure that everybody knows where we're at.
Yep.
We're been best friends since, I'm just gonna start saying like 20 years, because I say 15, I say
It's
17.
easier, 17.
Yeah, since my freshman year of high school, we've been friends, and now we both work in the same brokerage. We do commercial real estate.
Yep.
Hector's actually one of the managing partners of the firm. One of the up and coming brokers. That's what I like to call myself.
That's
It's in
right.
the business card.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, we all we do every day before we sit down and talk in this podcast is commercial real estate. And so I think that today we wanted to talk about our experience in the commercial real estate world, how we got into it, why we got into it, and maybe give you guys a little bit of a rundown of something that we are actually experts in, which is our day-to-day operations, how we manage our brokerage, how we do our job, and maybe talk a little bit about the pros and cons as to what we do, and just our own personal experiences as to how we've been able to manage this career and why we love what we do.
Yeah, for sure. So we actually, Gus and I both came from wanting to be in the corporate world. I mean, you had a good experience in the corporate world. You know, I worked for corporations as well, but it was a very stable corporate path, right? You get the degree, you work for a corporation, you work your way up the ladder, you get compensated for your time. It's very low risk, you know, assuming you pick the right company, whatever. And then we both pivoted at some point. We talked about it in the last episode. You were in law, I was in medicine, and we both pivoted we both got our MBAs, surprisingly.
Around the same time, too.
Around the same time. And then I got into real estate. You went into law management. So still in your field.
Yep.
And, you know, and now we're both doing commercial real estate full time, and we work together, which is amazing. So even just that it's such a shift, right? And we alluded to that on the last episode, but, you know, why did you make that change for yourself? Because I talked about it a little bit for myself, but from your perspective, what did that change mean to you, and how did it come about? And, you know, how do you feel about it today?
It's a really good question. So yeah, I was managing law firms for a while, right after college, and you know, I got my degree while still being a manager at a law firm, and it was really rewarding. I learned a lot. Working with that type of professionalism is insane. That's actually the only word I can use. These guys were all veterans in the field. I managed a high net worth divorce law firm for a while. Learned a lot about that side of the legal world, which is very interesting. But what I did get from that was the fact that you have to be professional, and you have to make sure that the client is always taken care of, no matter what. If you have to work 10, 12 hours a day to make sure that you get your clients' needs met, then that's what they would do, and they would take calls at any time of the day. And so that
It's a service-based business.
It's a service. Yeah, I feel like that's the type of business that honestly couldn't have prepared me better for this world that I'm in now.
Wow.
Because I saw it from their side. You know, they had clients. They had to do different things to make sure that the client was always, at least felt like they were getting taken care of, and work was being done on their behalf. So talking to Hector and deciding as to whether this was the right career for me.
Because we talked about it for years.
We did talk about it for
years. It wasn't like a instant shift.
Right.
Like you always would kind of ask how life was going on, you know, my side of the world in commercial real estate. And I would tell you the honest truth, because there were really hard times when we were first getting started, which, man, for anybody getting started in real estate, it's just the way it is. But as the years pass, you would think about it, and I would see you considering it. I just wanted to touch on that.
No, yeah, that's true. Yeah, I talked to him about it. The thing that appealed to me the most was how much Hector knew about the movement of capital between someone with money to spend and not knowing really how to move that money and invest it, and then how he would be the middleman between, someone who wanted to buy and someone who wanted to sell. And I think the investment world is that's all it is. Whether you're a stockbroker, whether you're a commercial real estate broker or a residential broker, you have someone with money, and then you have someone that's willing to sell their property or their part of their business in order for money to be moved around. And so that was always the most interesting part to me. I think I visited the office where you a couple times before I decided to make the move. You guys at that time, brokerage was completely different. No AI, nothing. It was just white pages, finding out how to do
Excel sheets, scattered Excel sheets.
Oh my God, dude. Yeah, you guys were, calling owners and making sure that, just pitching your deal. Like, hey, do you want to sell? All we do is bring value to people. So a lot of times when you get into this world, you realize that the game really is presenting yourself as someone who can offer value over everything, right? Like everybody can call and say, hey, give me this or sell me this or buy this. But it's a better pitch, I've noticed, as I've progressed in this career, to just say, hey, listen, I think I can give you something that you want or need. And if you just hear me out, I can explain to you how. And at that point, it just becomes you put yourself at the same level as these guys, and you go from there. And so my experience has been the same as what we've talked about in the past. It's kind of like I wanted the luxury of traveling and having my own schedule or creating my own schedule, and yeah, I thought that my ceiling there was no ceiling. Actually, that's what I'll say. There was no ceiling in this world. If I worked as hard as I could, my ceiling kept growing. Rather than being in the corporate world and you can kind of see your ceiling, right? Like you can see it.
There's a clear set path for you.
That's absolutely. And so I think that a lot of people who are considering whether you're working in a career right now where you have a pathway to success, and if you're okay with that and you enjoy what you're doing, go for it. But someone like me, I felt like the capacity I had to work and learn, I think that's what really moved me towards this career path that I'm in, and it's been a hell of a journey ever since I started.
Yeah, no, I love that, and that just reminded me of something that we always say, right? Investment is risk, and when you have a career where the path is very clearly set out for you, that's a very low risk situation. So the return that you can expect on that investment of your time is going to be much lower. But if you go out and invest your time in yourself, or commission-based or a sales-based role where it all falls on your shoulders, the risk, of course, is much higher, but the reward is that much higher.
Of course.
So it's understanding that balance and what matters most to you. And I think you made that decision of, I can see this path and I'm going to make the money that I want to make. I'm going to be in the position that I want to be in, and it's a very clear path to get there. I just have to follow the rules. But it's going to take me all this time. It's very low risk, or I can invest in myself, take a shot on myself, take the much riskier route, but I know that my ceiling is much higher, or even there is no ceiling.
Right.
So we say that all the time. Investment is risk, and you have to balance that out for yourself. Like, what kind of risk and reward do you want to analyze?
Yeah, dude. I'll ask you this because you talked about it. You don't have to really go into it like as much as you did last time. Sure. You definitely talked about it before as to your decision as to why you made it. But what people might not know is that both of us and
the risk-averse people, incredibly risk-averse people.
Yeah, Hector looks like 4 times before he crosses the street. So
sure. Left, right,
up, down, left, right. Yeah, you make sure. So as someone that's so risk-averse, why did you think that, other than like the luxuries that you get from, getting the big check or planning your schedule around whatever it is that you have going on in your life, what else? What
high degree of self-efficacy.
All right, you're gonna have to go deeper, man.
So we actually have that as we have a section in our interview process about trying to assess someone's degree of self-efficacy. So the belief in your own ability to get something done. And I think I have a very high degree of self-efficacy. I believe that tasked with any problem or issue, if I spend the right amount of time on it, I can solve it. And so when again, I'm a very risk-averse person, but when I saw people in real estate that I, spent time with and looked up to, and I see their day to day and I interact with them on a regular basis, I don't think that they have anything that I don't. So in my head, I say, if you can do it, I can do it. And so I believe that I could, no matter what it took, I was going to do that job and I was going to do it well. And I think you have to have that innate sense of belief and almost a delusional sense of optimism to be able to succeed in this role. So, and I think I naturally have both. So
yeah, optimistic to a fault, my guy.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, I agree. That's awesome. I think that that's kind of what our role dictates, right? It's kind of like you have to be able to measure any risk that you guys are taking, and this is just for the audience. We talk from our level of experience in commercial real estate, but this really applies to entrepreneurship. This applies to independent contractors.
Yeah.
This applies to almost anybody that's self-employed and not working technically for anybody. The level of organization and structure that you need to create in your own life it's something that I'm still dealing with right now.
How so?
So if I think to myself, like, what's something that I didn't know I was going to get into when I got into commercial real estate? One of the things, I'd probably say the biggest thing, was organizing my days.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Hour to hour. If you do not have a way to organize your day, Hector's actually one of the ones that's told me, calendar your days, man. Like, put it in the calendar.
Yeah.
If you think about it, put it in the calendar. And I think that that's something that I need to work on myself, because
100%. Put it on the calendar.
Put it on the calendar. I think most of the things that I can do, I feel like I can just do it mentally. I have it all in my head. Like, I'm smart enough to figure this out. I can do this.
Let me throw something out here.
Please.
I paid money for this AI calendar that you made fun of me for. It's called Motion.
Dude, he has 17 subscriptions.
Just for anybody, right? There's this AI calendar called Motion that allows you to create tasks on the app that are automatically updated on your calendar based off of due date, in other words, deadline, and priority. And so when you start adding all of your tasks, both from a personal and a professional standpoint, the AI is smart enough to detect, which ones are due sooner and which ones have higher priority, and it'll put it automatically on your Google Calendar or on your Apple Calendar. So when I pull up my phone and it's my home screen and I have a calendar widget, I can see the top things that I need to be working on at that point. And so it's one of those tools that, yeah, it costs some money, but it's helped me a ton. And I'm always, when I look at my phone, I see that calendar widget, I'm like, it's just another reminder of that thing that I need to get done. So just wanted to jump in there about calendaring and, blocking your day, because if that helps you or anybody.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I think most of the things...
Kind of expensive, though.
Yeah, dude.
we're not sponsored.
I really hope, what's that Rocket Mortgage thing, Rocket League, whatever that app is that allows you to check out your, whatever allows you to check how many subscriptions you're tied to. You should check that out, man.
I should check it out.
Yeah, maybe.
No, dude, I don't have that many subscriptions.
I think, okay. We'll just say that is one that I think is very helpful. Let's just talk about it in general, right? Like, as an entrepreneur, as self-employed, or if you're running your own business, if you take on a role like a broker, you have to really be engaged with how you approach your day.
Yep.
So a lot of times it's okay when you're in the corporate world, and I'll tell you this from personal experience, in a law firm, you are able to see your days in weeks and months and quarters, especially quarters. I think that's like the biggest way to like understand your days. So you understand, like, a lawyer knows when the case has deadlines, and they work off of the deadlines that are self-imposed. as an entrepreneur or an independent contractor, you create your own deadlines. And that's something that it's taken me a long time to figure out.
Yeah.
Because there's so much going on in commercial real estate where you find a deal, you pitch the deal, you get an offer for a deal, you negotiate that offer. And as that one's moving, you also have 25 or 30 other ones that are moving along in the same pathway.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're not ready to create a certain schedule for yourself, the brokerage or the industry or your clients, they're not going to create it for you.
Yeah.
And you can lose track of things really quickly. And that happens for entrepreneurs too. We know people who start their own businesses. They are the ones that have to show up. Oh, I need to show up at this time because this, and this.
Yeah.
That's not being told to them. You know what I'm saying? That they have to create that for themselves, or they won't succeed.
I think it's even more prevalent in service-based businesses because your time is your product, right? If people want you to work for free or do stuff to add value for them for free or at the lowest rate possible, right? Just economics. If you don't have the level of discernment necessary to prioritize your time effectively, you're going to be running around in circles servicing opportunities that may or may not be beneficial to you.
Mm-hmm.
So having that discernment as an entrepreneur or someone that's starting a new business, especially service-based businesses, is having that discernment is incredibly important. And having that structure, like you said, being able to create it is a skill that takes you time to develop. So to the point of buying these subscriptions, I think it's, you're outsourcing a skill that maybe you don't have to an app that's going to make that more simple for you. And yes, you can go out and build it yourself. I encourage you to, using Claude or whatever. But some of them already just come packaged out of the box. Like this AI thing, for this AI calendar, if you can just pay for it and it helps you get organized, go for it.
Cool, man. I agree. I'll agree with that. I'll agree
with that one.
With that one thing, I'll agree with. Maybe your other subscriptions we can talk about.
Yeah.
But for that one, I agree. I think if it helps you organize your time, it's well worth it.
Yeah, you can build it though. I mean, that's a conversation maybe for another day, but can you use Claude to automatically prioritize the things that you have on a Apple to-do list and put on your calendar? Yes, you can. So you don't have to pay for it. If you are curious about how to do that, I don't know, reach out to us. Maybe we can figure it out.
I love it. Yeah. Well, the link below. The link below.
Yeah, why not?
Why not? And so, yeah, I think that's cool. And it's actually interesting. I was talking to Matthew. So we have an intern at the office who's interested in getting into commercial real estate.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of asked me.
Stud, by the way.
A stud, by the way. Yeah, 20 years old and is more brave than 90% of the brokers that I've seen. He gets on the phone. He gets to calling. We got to work on his
presence,
his presence, his strength, and on the phone. But does he do it? Yes.
Yeah.
And honestly, he's halfway there.
That's half the battle, 100%.
Yeah. I forgot that famous mobster on YouTube. That's like he was in the mob and then he got out of jail and now he's like a influencer or some sort of like I forgot his name. Anyways, the point is this guy said that like half the battle is just showing up.
Yep.
If you show up every day, you're halfway there. And I think that's what Matthew is proving to himself. He's 20 years old and he sits in an office where everybody around him is an expert at what they're doing. They're good on the phone.
Yep.
They're pacing around. They have clients. They're doing all these things. And he's just sitting there listening, asking questions, absorbing everything, and getting on the phone and calling.
Yep.
And talking to a person who has a $50 million portfolio. And he's like, do you want to buy this? You know what I mean? And that's so brave.
Alex Ramosi always says if you are broke, not that the intern's broke, but if you're broke, you should have no shame. And so when you're getting started and you're like calling this $50 million property portfolio owner, don't have any shame. And he does this very well. He just calls and says, hey, I saw that you submitted this inquiry for this other property. What are you looking for? We're a brokerage out of Orlando. We can help, blah, blah. And the balls to do that, without any knowledge of real estate in general, starting off as an intern, I think it just shows to the character that you need to have to be able to be successful. And I think he has that.
He has that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. So he asked me the other day, we were talking about like what it takes to be successful in this business.
Mhm.
And it took me, it kind of took me back to my own perspective of it and what I thought it would be and what it actually is. And to be able to explain it to a 20-year-old, which sounds young and, you know, inexperienced, and he's about to get really into the real world, into what the world really is. I try to bring it down to a couple things, you know.
Mhm.
And one of the things I told him was showing up. Show up with a good attitude and do whatever you can to show your value. What are you valuable at? Can you make a bunch of phone calls even if they're bad? Yes. Okay. Do that. Right? So just showing up, that's a huge key. But the other thing I told him was in commercial real estate, and probably as entrepreneurs, or honestly, this applies to anybody in the professional world. Build relationships. That was like my biggest take.
Yeah.
Man, I have been on the phone with someone who has talked to me about their grandkids, their kids, their wives, what they plan to do, where they vacation.
No kidding.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And it's the craziest thing to see how a lot of these guys who are very wealthy, great portfolios, own a lot of real estate, own a lot of businesses.
Mhm.
They're human beings, man. They have their own families and their own lives. And sometimes a lot of sales guys in the sales world, they immediately attack. They go through the pitch. They sell themselves. They sell the company. They sell their product. But they don't take the time to ask them who they are and what's their business. And that's something you taught me. You told me, get on the phone. If they don't want to sell, it's fine. Ask them what they do. How did you get into that business? Like, okay, you
Because
run,
it's a timing thing. Yeah.
it's a timing thing. At that point, maybe they're not thinking about selling their property. Fine. But what if you're like, oh, okay, no problem. What do you do there? Oh, I run a landscaping company. Oh, that's great. How did you get into that? There's not the number one topic every human being loves to talk about
Themselves.
is themselves. If you can get someone talking about themselves and their story, especially these old heads who have a lot of experience and knowledge, and a lot of times their kids don't give a damn, and their grandkids don't give a damn, they're willing to talk to you. And especially if you pitch it as like, hey, I'm a 29-year-old, I'm in commercial real estate, but I love the business world in general.
I'm learning.
I'm young, I'm learning, I'm hungry. Yes. If you tell them that, they'll be willing to talk to you. A lot of
Most
times.
of them have been in your shoes
Exactly.
before as well. Young entrepreneurs going after what they want.
Yeah.
They get it.
Yeah, they get it. It's like, man, you own a landscaping company? Yeah. Well, how do you acquire so many properties? Well, I started with one, grew out of that one, bought another one, rented the first one, boom, 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 boom. Out of nowhere, I have 6 different properties in the top locations in the Houston area or the Dallas area or Orlando. And now I don't know what to do with it. Yeah, I'm retiring. I'm gonna give it to my kids or whatever. Those are the conversations that me and Hector are having on a regular basis. And
I think it's the best part of doing commercial real estate. It's a relationship business, like you mentioned, but it's getting to talk to people that are actually out there doing it. They either own real estate portfolios, which who doesn't want to do that, or they're operating a business that is, most of the time profitable because it's in a good location. We call main markets. So, both of those things are things that are interesting to us, and we're talking to the people, the decision makers of these, either the portfolio or the business, or sometimes both.
for sure.
And, we can pick their brains. How people pay for that kind of advice or that kind of time with someone else. You literally call, you have an opening, you make a good relationship with a guy that is willing to talk to you. Maybe he doesn't want to sell, but he can give you a couple of minutes of their time and give you their story. And maybe that means something more to you than actually getting the sale.
Yeah.
And so I said this at a dinner recently to, a client that we were out with, and I was like, sitting next to him, and I said, hey, you can get real estate services from anybody, right? Obviously, you want to have a good broker and somebody that's knowledgeable in the space. But at the end of the day, you're going to do business with who you like. And the fact that we're out at dinner, we're laughing, we're having a good time, like, I value that, and I'm sure you do too. And it's because it's so true that having relationships, good relationships in real estate is really what's going to take you the distance. Realizing that early in your career is that much more important.
Was that before or after you started rubbing his thigh?
Before.
Before. Yeah,
Yeah,
always
yeah,
before.
of course.
Yeah, you can't. You got to pitch it first.
Yeah, of
I
course.
understand. Yeah.
Yeah. No, he loved it.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. Oh, the pitch or the leg rubbing?
Both.
Both. Nice. All right. Well, yeah, man. I think. What would you have said to Matthew at that point? What do you think? Relationships were just showing up in your head as a young guy. He's 20 years old. Heck, he's 20 years old.
Yeah. No, I told him, I wish I was in your shoes,
Right.
absorbing what you're absorbing right now.
Right.
I wish I had started sooner and just sit in the room with the people that are doing it.
Right.
And I don't know, I think that's just the key is like show up, like you said, show up, put yourself out there. I'm sure he's uncomfortable. I'm sure he was nervous as hell his first day. And now he's making calls. He's comfortable. We're telling jokes. He's asking us questions. He's absorbing something every single day. And I hope that he appreciates it as much as I do for him, if that makes any sense. Because, we're 10 years older than him. I'm 10 years older than him. And I can imagine, yeah, whatever. And I can just see the potential of somebody that is young and is focused and is charismatic and is out there doing it. And, I envy that youthfulness.
I agree. I told you this quote Hormozy said. We're gonna have to get a shout out from Hormozy at some point.
Yeah, for sure. The man,
but he's great. He said that you're gonna be really rich, and when you're like, let's say you're 50, right? You're gonna be 50 and really, really rich, and you're gonna want to give all those millions you have just to be 29 and hungry again.
Yeah.
And I love that quote because it puts things in perspective. And this kind of goes to the episode that we're going to be posting soon about ambition.
Yep.
It's like you're always striving for more that you forget to be grateful for where you're at now. And I consider myself young. You're a young guy. I'm a young guy. We're young professionals in the industry.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So then we're in a world where a lot of the guys that we work with are 50, 60 years old, and they've been in the industry for 30 years, and they're studs, right? Like they know everything. But how many of them would give all the money and all the fame and all the accolades they have to be 30 years old and hungry again?
Man, I'd like to say 99% of them.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's the point. I think us being able to do that with our intern, seeing him at 20 at UCF, he has an idea of what he wants in life, but the world is his oyster.
Yeah. One thing I'll shout him out for amongst some of the others we've done today is his ability to ask good questions, leading questions. And I think that, that goes for anybody, right? Like if there's something that you want to learn or something that you want to do, like go find the person that's out there doing it, invite them out to a coffee and ask them like, how are you doing what you're doing? Why do you want to do it? How are you successful doing it? And let that conversation open up. And if you have an interest in that as well, immediately you guys have something in common, and maybe that turns into an opportunity. But have that self-belief like this guy Matthew does. Show up. It doesn't matter what you know, just have the balls to show up and ask the right questions and put yourself in the room. I think that's literally the key.
That's the key, man. It's like, yeah, like we said, everybody wants to talk about themselves. So if you get a successful older guy or woman who you want to explore with the ideas in their heads, how they did it and whatnot, they'll be more than happy. A lot of them will. And honestly, ask 10 of them, maybe 5 respond, maybe 2 you actually get to take out on a coffee date. Screw it. You get 2 very successful people to sit there in front of and just talk about themselves. And that's what they want to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think he reached out to us too. I don't even think we were hiring for an intern position at the time. So he reached out and was like, hey, I'm doing this. Like, I want to learn. And I think Guillermo was like, yeah, like come here. I'll give you 5 minutes. And he sat down. They had a good conversation. And the guy just kept following up. And we're like, if he can do that with us, he can do that with a real estate owner.
Yeah.
And he just needs the sales process. He needs the lingo, the pitch.
Yeah.
And I think you have to demonstrate that to whoever it is that you're trying to impress or get to know.
I agree. Yeah, I think, and this goes to anybody, not just a 20-year-old. You could be 40, you could be 50. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If you want something, go to the people that are doing it at a high level and pitch yourself and ask questions. Be curious, forever curious.
Yep.
I think that's the key to success. I think it's just you got to be forever curious. And so ultimately, our whole career is based around this perspective that we get to not only understand the movement of capital and investments and money, but we also get to talk to these really, really high quality individuals, men, women, who are just way ahead of their time. They've been able to do so much in their lives, and that's the key. You know what's funny? one of these crazy pitches that Guillermo gave me when I was thinking about working with you guys. He said, "Gus, right now I have about 500 millionaires on my contacts that I can call at any time and they'll answer the phone." And I was like,
that's pretty cool.
That's cool. And I think by now you probably do too.
Yeah.
You probably can text somebody, you can go through your list and you're like, this guy's a millionaire, this guy's a millionaire. And it's not the fact that they're millionaires, it's the fact that they did what it took to become a millionaire.
Yeah.
That's the key. That's the key that I think I did not know when I came into commercial real estate. I didn't know that was going to be the most valuable thing. I get to talk every single day to millionaires.
Yeah.
To really successful
people that are doing it.
People that are doing it. They're not just talking about it.
Yeah.
This world, and I guess we're right now becoming part of that world. This world is full of people who just talk. They sit back and they just talk. And the difference between the people that can just sit there and talk and criticize and have an opinion about something versus the ones that are sitting there and doing it, that's a completely different world. It's a different game, and that's something that I feel like I've come to value more than anything I do in commercial real estate. Yeah, the commissions are great. Yeah, the opportunity to invest in these deals is great. Everything that we do is pretty awesome. But the most important part, I think, is the conversations that I'm having with people who are doing it.
Yeah. No, for sure. I love that, man. I love that. I think you pointed out another great benefit that I think we learned along the way. Right, is in commercial real estate, you're looking at deals constantly, and over time, as you build, your cushion, your cash reserve, and you get out of the hole of spending time in 100% commission based business, you can analyze these deals yourself and potentially go out and buy one of these with a partner or with an investor or with somebody else, and that's when the game really gets interesting.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
You want to get into that?
Yeah, man. Yeah, because I think that's actually, I know me and Hector and I's goal eventually will be, and I hope that anybody who's thinking about getting into commercial real estate, I hope you have this mindset. You get into it for the commission checks and the ability to learn, be in the you're literally in the front row of every deal that's being made, and you go through everything. You go through the environmental due diligence period, and you go through your closing periods, and you understand underwriting, and you understand all these topics, and you understand cash flow, and you understand everything.
Yep.
But eventually, I think we understand now that the real game comes whenever you're able to invest yourself.
Yep.
And the really interesting part of being a broker is that you get to do everything, all the tasks that it takes to acquire a property and invest in it. You go through that firsthand
for someone else.
And then eventually you're like, oh, hey, do you mind if I get a piece of that? Do you mind if I invest in that with you?
Buyers encourage you to do it.
Yeah.
To find a good deal.
Yeah.
They're like, find a good deal, we'll invest in it together.
Right.
Because if you have enough confidence in the deal to put your money into the deal, then I want to buy it.
Right.
Like, let's buy this together. Let's go out and do that thing.
Right.
It's a natural progression, right? You're a broker. And I think in all real estate businesses, right? Like residential, commercial, whether it's retail, office, multifamily, whatever, you start off with this time investment that eventually turns into commission checks more consistently. And then you have a cash reserve, and you can start looking up further into the future until you start, and then you start realizing the returns on some of these deals, and you're like, wait, I can buy this. We can buy this together.
Yeah.
And that's the real game. And so building a couple of those, putting those together, really understanding the buyer at that point, I think that's when things start to really unravel for you as a commercial broker and as an investor.
I agree. Yeah, I think that's the part that I find most interesting. It's like a lot of these investors, they didn't start off as brokers. They just bought a property or something. You know, their game was a little different.
Yeah, or what we talk about all the time, you have a business that's successful, and so you end up owning the real estate, or you bought the real estate because you knew it was going to work for your business, and then the business blows up, and so you buy another property to run that business out of in another city, and then you buy another one in another city and another one in another city. Next thing you know, you've got 10 real estate parcels that are being used for your business as, a landscaping service or whatever. And then somebody wants to buy your business. So then you're like, okay, I can sell my business, which is leased to the real estate that I own, and I can keep the real estate, and the new business owner is paying me rent. That's the American dream.
That's the American dream. We've talked about that. You told me, you're like, a lot of people have different perspectives of what the American dream is. You quoted, you were like, the American dream is being so successful at the business that you're doing and owning the real estate that you're doing it on, which eventually you get bought out by a bigger company, and then they become your tenant.
Yep.
And then you do that 3-4 times over, and now you're a landlord.
Yep.
No longer a landscape guy, because you sold your landscaping business.
Mhm.
But the landscaping business that bought yours now is your tenant.
Yeah, and then you could sell the portfolio of just the real estate
Right.
and go buy something else, or then go
Absolutely.
do it again, or put financing on. I mean, there's so many ways that you can get out of that and keep rolling. It's one of the reasons why I genuinely just love real estate, because I see so much opportunity in so many different spaces. And we do industrial most often, but there's opportunities in, like I said, retail, office, multifamily.
Yep.
It's very exciting every single day. There's so many opportunities, but back to the level of organization and discernment, knowing how to spend your time on the top priorities that are going to make you money and keep you on track towards your goals.
Yep.
I think that's a skill that not everybody fully develops,
Right.
and is imperative for you to have.
I agree. I think, what we don't want to do in this podcast is definitely give like the fluffed up, flowery side of everything, right? We want to really touch on every point and the truth of what we do. And you touched on this briefly. There is a period of when you get started in commercial real estate where it is tough.
Brutal.
It's so tough.
Brutal. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I think, and you can shout me out if you want to.
Sure.
I think I was the broker to get the fastest deal done.
Yep.
Yeah?
Shout out Gustavo for that. 7 months
7 months.
and 12, 13 days or something, 7.5 months.
7.5 months. Yeah, so 7.5 months, and
Commercial real estate just naturally has long sales cycles, right? Because you have to, sorry to get you off. You have to learn the business. So you're already, and because it's 100% commission based, as you're learning, you're not immediately getting sales.
Right.
So it takes a period to learn. Let's say that takes 2 to 3 months to really nail it down, 90 days.
Yep.
And then once you really get your groove, you have to put something under contract.
Yep.
And the contract itself takes 60 to 90 days.
Right.
And so, getting the property through due diligence, getting it through the closing period.
Yeah.
Now you're at, 6 months before you've seen a dollar.
Yep.
Can you reasonably carry yourself through that? And do you have enough belief in yourself to take that risk? Because it's half a year's worth of income.
Right.
How did that feel for you? I mean,
Yeah, man. So I think that's something that I can't sugarcoat that period of my life, because it was very interesting. I like Hector said, it becomes a fight against time.
Yeah.
You're sitting there and you're getting better every day, but you're not seeing any results. And honestly, you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. You don't see it. You're working hard, you're making 50, 75, 100 calls a day. You're sending out deals, offers, packages. You're doing all of it.
Yep.
And nothing is crystallizing. You can't really see something getting under contract and closing.
The reward is not
it's not in it.
real at the moment.
At the moment, you're living on a promised future.
Mhm.
And a lot of times, and I think that this is the biggest takeaway, not just for commercial real estate, but entrepreneurs in general. If you can push past that time period of your life, It's going to be the hardest, the most inconsistent, the most unstable times of your life. Whether you're starting your own business, whether you're in commercial real estate, whether you're doing anything for yourself, whether you're doing anything that's worth anything, you are going to go through a period where you are regretting, whether you're thinking, should I have even taken this leap? And that happens to business owners and entrepreneurs. It's brutal. And so for me, my experience was, luckily I had a good savings built up from the salary position I was coming from. And, you know, my family is very supportive, and, you know, anything I needed, I never felt like, you know, okay, if I have to go sleep at my mom's couch, whatever, you know, that's the theory that entrepreneurs should have.
For sure.
Right?
Yeah. Because you got to go all in.
You gotta go all in. No, yes. If you are going to do a business like this, or a job like this, or a business on your own, and you're gonna start your own business, you gotta go all in. There's no 75% all the way in, and 25 I'm kind of still dealing with this other stuff. I can actually go back to no. Please, for the audience, if you guys are gonna take the risk, take it 100%. Do not half-ass it, because it's not gonna work out. And Mr. Sigar, may he rest in peace, our government teacher in high school, he always said, you should never have a plan B. You should never have a plan B, because if you have plan B, you are never 100% in on your plan A.
Yeah.
And that's true. And so for 7 months, guys, I went through a period of 7 months.
Sorry,
please.
Will Ortiz, great friend of ours. We both started real estate at the same time, 2020, 2021. And we were both going through the same thing, this long period of, you know, uncertainty, this long period of whatever. But I remember as we were at the gym at Fitness CF here in Dr. Phillips, and we both talked about the story of burn your boats.
Burn the ships.
Burn the ships. When you burn the ships, you know, and you're at war against whatever it is that you're trying to take down, if you burn the ships, there's no going back. There's no retreating.
Yeah, you got to fight.
You have to fight to get through. And that was something I constantly thought of. And so Sityar's quote of, you know, no plan B, very similar. And I just kept that in my mind all the time. The boats are gone. There's no going back. The only way out is through.
Yep. So yeah, that's it. Great story, man. Hernan Cortez, when he was going towards Mexico, the new land, the Spanish, he saw his men wavering. He's like, his men started like talking to each other about planning a fucking escape, and Hernan was like, all right, you guys want to leave?
Burn the boats.
Burn the boats. Yeah, he burned the boats. And so now it's like either we fight or we die. So figure it out. Right? And
they figured it out.
And they figured it out. Yeah. Yeah. Historically, that's a crazy story, but
some of them.
That's yeah. Some of them figured it out. Yeah. So good. I think that a lot of times people half-ass it. Oh, I want to start this business, or I want to do this and that, but they're not really 100% committed, and they're so comfortable with what they have, and they're able to have an escape plan.
Yep.
But when you go all in, for example, my experience, it was January, February, March, and it's still April, and I'm living on my savings and you know, the help from the brokerage and whatnot. But it was still like, you know, like, Jesus, like, this is not a lifestyle I want. I can't afford anything. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this was a very difficult time.
Yeah.
But then month 7 and 13 days, I closed my first deal.
Yep. A big one.
It was a $7 million portfolio deal in Houston, Texas.
Yep.
And I realized what it's all about. I realized what the game was about, and I realized, oh, so this is what you chase. This is what you want, and this is what comes from all the hard work and all the dedication, and not quitting. Yep. This is what it's like to not quit. This is the
That's the reward.
That's the reward.
Yep.
And you said that on the last podcast, on the episode that we posted. It's like when you see that reward, when you finally see it, you're like, oh,
I get it.
I can do this now, and I understand it now. And so from then on, it just becomes like a different game. But for me,
because your belief in it increases as well.
That's right.
It becomes real, tangible.
That's right.
Yeah, it becomes tangible. You know you could do it. You've done it.
Right.
So now you can go out and do it again.
Right.
And it's like that hurdle that you have to cross to go out and do it that first time. And then you're like, oh, okay, I can do this.
Right.
Let's go do it again.
Right.
Let's go do it again.
And then momentum builds,
Yep.
which in our career is the biggest thing, right? I remember you told me that one of your biggest dreams or aspirations was to not be the one to call, but have people call you. And you're there now. And so
Yeah.
I'm sure that's really interesting, but
I wrote on my board.
Yeah.
Get it so my phone won't stop ringing rather than the other way around.
Right. And so I feel like your experience was actually much more intense than mine was.
Dude, I went like 12 months without making any money, like 13 months. And it was brutal, brutal. You blow through everything you have. You don't know, like there's so much uncertainty in the market at the time. It was 2021 and interest rates are starting to go up. I had 10 deals under contract at the time, which is pretty crazy. Like to manage that kind of pipeline today, I mean, it's pretty good pipeline.
Yeah.
So I saw it was real. I saw I was close to doing it, but interest rates keep growing up. All our investors are thinking, okay, the deals are half as good as they were before. Maybe we do it. Interest rates go up again. They're like, we can't do it.
Yeah.
So one after the other, deals started dropping. And
So you had 10 deals?
I had 10 deals. And I ended up closing one after 12 months. Imagine thinking you're going to make, I don't know, 750,000 in gross commissions, and you make none of that. I mean, it's you make nothing essentially, and it's very heartbreaking, and it's a hard thing to have to face. But even just that one was enough to show me that I could do it. And then again, I had that high degree of self-efficacy where I was like, the guy next to me is successful. The guy next to him is successful. I've put 10 properties under contract. I've closed one. I know I can do this. I'm going to go out and do it again. And I stayed with it. And, the rest is history. But it was hard, man. It was extremely hard. You have to look your family in the eye. I have to look at my mom in the eye and say, it's been 12 months. I haven't made $1.
Right.
And she's like, you could just go do something. Luckily, my mom's incredibly supportive.
Right.
But I could tell, and she always believed in me, but I could tell she would tell me, you could do anything else.
You could
And I'm like, yeah, I know that, but this is what I want to do
Right.
because I know I can do it.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that's a different game. Damn, I feel like I'm quoting Hormozy a lot, but
He's the man, dude. He's the man.
Great. Yeah. He, for a long time, he says that for a long time, people are going to say you cannot do it. And for the first month, they're right. And the second month, they're right. And in 6 months, they're still right.
Mm-hmm.
And in 12 months, they're still right. And in your case,
They were still right.
they were still right. But then in 18, 24 months, they're dead wrong.
Yeah.
They were dead wrong about their assumptions. And I think that that's the persistence that I think young professionals in our age, in our industry, and honestly, any industry, whether you're in corporate world and you want to just keep leveling up and you feel like, oh man, like I'm doing everything I need to do, but I don't have anything to show for it.
Yeah.
Versus like you're on your own and you're self-employed, or you're an independent contractor, or you're a broker, or you're in any of these careers that require you to make your own money and eat what you kill.
Yeah.
Eat what you kill. I feel like that's the point where you really show yourself who you are.
Yeah.
And so when you get to the other side of that, all I ask from my audience members, which I know everybody watching is very smart and can analyze themselves accurately, just please remain hungry and stay humble. There's nothing worse than seeing someone finally succeed and completely change their perspective on how they approach life.
Mm.
Do you see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
in our world, I think a lot of times people forget their humble beginnings and they become attached to who they are now. And I think that sometimes that brings a certain level of ego that I think is very dangerous for someone, especially in our world where the money can flow pretty rapidly and abundantly. I think, guys, please stay humble and stay hungry. Those are if I can give any advice about the careers that me and Hector are in, and I know Hector agrees with this, stay humble, stay hungry. You just be grateful for what you have and realize everything you've accomplished and the hard work you put in, but still want more. I think it goes back to the topic, right? It's like stay humble, but stay hungry.
Yeah.
Can you do both? I don't know. We'll find out next episode.
On Friday at 7.
Friday at 7. Yeah, dude. What was your first deal? What was your first deal that you got on the contract?
Oh man, what was the first deal I closed?
This guy's he's a big baller now, dude. He's huge. He's huge.
The first deal I sold was a development deal in West Chicago, Illinois. It was actually
never been to Chicago.
Yeah. It was actually a pretty big deal. It was bought by one of our clients, and it was a big development play. And now it's a 120,000 square foot truck terminal. At the time, it was just truck parking. I didn't know anything about the development at the time, or the permitting, or the lobbying that goes at the municipal level to get this thing done.
Land.
Yeah, I was like, land buyer, yes. And it went through, but just given the amount of support that I had at the time, the amount of brokers that were involved, the fee wasn't much, even though it was a pretty big deal. I think it was like $10 million. But the fee, because of the amount of people involved, wasn't, it just wasn't the same as what it might be today.
Gotcha.
But it was, a deal in West Chicago.
That's right.
I've never even been to the property.
Right.
That's
how it works. That's our world.
Yeah.
And then we don't even. I've never been to Houston. I'm the king of Houston. Never. Self-proclaimed king of Houston. Never been to Houston. We got to change that. But yeah, ultimately, guys, I think I want to create a certain level of urgency to those that right now are thinking, should I go into a world like that? Should I open my own business? Should I go to a job that doesn't pay me a salary? If you are one of these audience members who are thinking about potentially jumping into a career that you feel like you would be good at, and you feel like you have the skills and the persistence and the patience and the ability to be successful in, but the one thing that's keeping you back is either comfort level, right, or other people's opinions, which I think it's a big one. Yeah. Jim Carrey. I keep quoting people. I think, guys, I am an encyclopedia of quotes. You have
really
no
good at
idea.
that.
I don't know. I just, read a lot and scroll a lot. But Jim Carrey says if you won't take the risk, or if you aren't willing to take a pay cut or live a lower level lifestyle because of what other people think of you, you're either giving too much power to those people, or you don't want it enough. You don't want it bad enough.
Wow.
And I think that's true.
Yeah.
If you have to live in the basement of your parents' house, which is so cliche to say, or crash at your friend's house, or whatever the baseline or the bottom is for you, if you're not willing to put up with that to get what you want in life, to get to achieve what you can achieve and the goals that you have for yourself, then if you're not willing to do that, you're never going to get it. And take it from both Hector and I, what's on the other side of this is a completely different lifestyle, a completely different world. This guy right here, who dropped 9 out of the 10 deals he had his first year, now we're sitting in his apartment in downtown overlooking the city. And, I don't mean to hype you up, because I hate that. I absolutely hate that.
All good.
But I just think that that's the case. Like, I think if you could go back to that beginning Hector, right? Like, and talk to him and just be like, hey, man, it's going to be all right.
Yeah.
Just put up with it. And I think that that's the difference between successful and not successful people, other than the fact that they take action, is the fact that they're willing to take the risk.
Yeah.
The world is made of people who took risks,
Yeah. And hit us up. If you have any questions about commercial real estate, if you're interested in starting a new business, we have our friend who's working on his now. It's, we'd love to provide any input that we can, or connect you with people that we know that are in the space.
That's right.
We'd love to do that.
Absolutely. I think that's us showing you guys a little bit of what it's like to be in our world. Sometimes we're students still and everything. Even in commercial real estate, we're just getting started.
Yep.
But we do have a lot of more experience in commercial real estate than we do in almost any other topic. So we wanted to go ahead and bring you guys into the world that we live in, because I know you guys see us sitting here and talking to you guys and discussing topics that we find interesting, and we'll continue to do that. But this episode was really about just showing you guys what happens before we sit down in these chairs.
Yeah.
Like what our day-to-day looks like, what our experience with our job looks like, and the fact that we're working at the same place together, it kind of makes it a little bit more personal, and it makes it a little bit more, it makes it easier for us to be able to talk about it together and share our experiences with you guys. And yeah, like Hector said, if we can help you guys in any way, if any of you guys are thinking about going into any of these career fields or starting your own business, we also deal with small businesses and businesses in general, and how they get started. And we would love to help you out. And if we don't know, we know somebody that does. And so, feel free to hit us up. That's the whole point of the show and what we're building here. How do you feel, man?
Feel good, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a
Till
good
next
one.
time.
Till next time, man. That was a good episode. Love you, man.
Love you too.
We hope to keep bringing value to you guys, and like I said in the last episode, we will be bringing a lot more materials and things that we can provide to you guys that are, just free. We just want to give it to you guys so that they're able to get something out of the podcast.
We'll drop it in the newsletter.
That's right. Newsletter coming soon, guys. If you guys want to subscribe, we'll do little briefs about what we're talking about on the podcast, and then we'll give you guys links to the places that we go, the books that we read, the articles that we have, and anything else that we come across that we find that would be helpful for you guys as the audience. We will provide. And I think that's it, man. I think this was a really good episode, and I appreciate your time.
You too, man.